Hey everybody, so I am back with Funky Blues, 2 years old. Just kind of working on a lot of the things that we should be doing on the ground before we even think about saddling when they're old enough to be saddled. So, super highly sensitive horse when he got here. Working, and this is a continuation of building blocks for the tarp that I'm working with him on. The tarp is a great way to kind of get him used to things that are gonna be all over his body. Things that might come up with him, and to help him to regulate. It's not about having him like putting everything in front of him, because we're never going to be able to put everything in front of him to desensitize him to that, right? It's not about desensitizing, it's about having him be regulated so he's sensitive to the things that he should be sensitive to, which is our aids and as a partner, and then he's not worried about things that he shouldn't be worried about. So I'm going to pick up this tarp. We've been working on this for a bit now, and just a tarp that I've cut to about 2 feet wide, and it's about 10 feet long. So I use different size tarps depending on what I'm doing with them. So I just want to go up with him, and if you've watched the previous videos, you can see how he was struggling with that a little bit and had a hard time with it. I want to be able to go down his legs. I have no issues. Go under his belly. You notice that his head is staying the same now. I want him to have no issues with me going around him. And what I'm looking for is him to stay relaxed. Not just to stand still, but to stay relaxed. Because if he's tense and he's standing still, that might be like a freeze warning to me that he's just frozen and he just doesn't know what to do and he doesn't feel like he can do anything. So I'm gonna go around all these legs, go up inside the legs, go around the front end, go around the chest. Good boy. And once I do that, and I feel like he's pretty confident with that, I have a fun little exercise that I do. It's for changing of the eye. It also builds his confidence of, and I came up with this because I was riding a horse a long time ago that had some issues, and we were trail riding, and he had we went through the woods, and he had some brambles that stuck to his tail, and it really showed me that anything can happen, and we want our horses to be able to regulate and not be worried about that. So I'm going to take this tarp, and so you want to make sure before you do this that your horse can walk around with the tarp on him, not be worried about it, as we did in the last video. And then I'm going to tie this to his tail. Now when I tie it to his tail, I'm going to tie it very loosely, so it'll may fall out, but if he gets worried, I can literally just step on the end of the tarp and it will slide out. So this is something you don't want to do until you've done all these other steps with him, because we want to set them up for success. This is just another aid, another tool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back to his hind end here. I'm going to take this tarp, and I just want to be able to tie it to his tail, and I don't do it very tight, I do it loosely, but my goal with him is to do this, get to the point where I can do walk, trot, canter with him with this tarp tied to his tail, and then be able to be on him and do these things. It's really going to help him out, just trying to build his confidence. So I'm going to ask him to walk off now. So that tarp's going to go from his left eye to his right eye. Then I'm going to ask him to come around this direction. So he was a sensitive horse in the sense that he didn't want to move his feet if he felt like he wasn't sure. So this is another exercise that's great to see. So see how he's a little stuck right there, going from that left eye to that right eye? So I want to basically reward him, say, hey, he's doing a good job, he's really trying for me. And then ask him if he'll just step around. You notice he's also stepping under with that inside hip, starting to use his body a little bit more, which I've been working on with him, not just to break in half. So now this tarp is over here on his right eye, which is predominantly more of a worry eye for him. He sees some horses out here going along, walking by, and so I want to see, can I get his attention and just have him walk around that tarp like that. Good. So see how he's really swinging that under nice. Now when I come to a stop, he's looking at this horse right out here, which is good. So then he checks it out, comes back to me. So these are all cues and signs that I say to myself, well, how in tune is my horse with me? Because if they're off and looking at something different, they're focused on something different, not focused on us, we're not going to have a good ride with them or a good groundwork with them, because they are not focused on us. It's like having a conversation with somebody who's preoccupied with other things. They're on their phone, they're worried about other stuff, is you're not going to get their full attention, you're not going to be in tune with each other. So I want him to be so in tune with me before we start to get on him or do anything, is that we go through this process where we help them become confident in themselves. We build trust with them. We have boundaries where we can be at, so we understand each other and our boundaries at that. And then if I go to walk off again, you know, he's right here. So I'm going to see if he'll step on this tarp or if he'll just walk around it. Good, so I like that because it's wrapped around his leg there. I might just ask him to switch that eye and come back this way with me. Good. So I really like what he just did there. So like, it's so important for us to give our horses the opportunity to problem solve. If we're telling him what he needs to do all the time, then we're not allowing him to think for himself, and we're not allowing for that solving of the problem. So as a good horsewoman or horseman, what you want to do when you're working with your horses, you want to be able to pick up those things and go, are they shut down? Are they thinking? Are they just saying no because they want to say no? And that's how you kind of develop that relationship with them to go, if he's thinking about it, I'm going to give him the time that he needs to think about that, so we build a better partnership. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. If so, please hit the subscribe button. Take care and watch out for the next video with Funky Blues.